I was asked to do a video of how I attached my universal mower adapter for my Cyclone rake to my Toro 3000 series. This is not going to go well with a 72-inch. $34,000 in one stupid vehicle. Just not cooperating. So that was version 1.0. There is a nut between the two flanges to allow for the plate of the discharge chute. And this worked okay. The Cyclone rake that I have is a 6-horse motor, which I don't believe is big enough for this deck. Also, I was using gator blades when I used it, and I don't know that those provided the proper lift. Should have maybe had, I don't know if Toro makes a higher lift wing for bagging. I haven't really checked on that. That's another option. So when this is mounted, you see there's a gap there. And this is version 2.0. Is this. This is a hood hinge from semi-truck. Now, I don't know how this is going to work with that wheel there.
But it may take you all a little while to come to this conclusion. But I'll promise you, Julie, as you start having more success, you will get more intense. You will get more focused. You will cut more stuff out of the budget. Because you start to see a light at the end of the tunnel. You start to see that you can win. It's the strangest thing. That hope gives you energy to run past what you thought you could run past. And right now you're just in the beginning stages of nibbling around the edges of the hope. Kate is with us in Salem, Oregon. Hi, Kate. How are you?
I think that's going to work.
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, my husband is getting ready to retire here in a couple of months, and he's got a pension, and we're wondering which option of the pension to take. If he takes option 1, he'll get about $5,700 a month.
I don't know that that's still going to close that gap.
Or we can take option 2 and get about $5,700 a month. If he passes away, I get that for the rest of my life. So we're just wondering, should we take option 1?
So there's $5,200 and $5,800?
Yes.
Okay.
So the question is, do we take the higher amount and
And how old is he?
policy?
How old is he?
He's 57, I'm 52.
Is he healthy enough to get life insurance?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see.
I don't really like that.
What you could do.
I wonder.
Yeah. Buy about. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say the monthly cash flow isn't a problem for us. It's really a question of.
What's the best thing?
I believe on the bottom
That's what I was doing.
is going to be a good option.
So if I take the 5,800 and buy a $700,000 or $800,000 term life policy on him,
Okay.
and that will cost you less than $7,200 a year, which is $600 a month.
Okay.
It'll probably cost you a whole lot less than that. So you'll probably put several $1,000s in your pocket. And by the way, when he does that $700,000 or $800,000, he'll put more in your pocket than $5,800 a month.
Okay.
You see what I did?
Yeah.
So the camera was full yesterday after I charged the battery after it died and wasn't able to use it. But here's where we're at. We've got the hood hinge. We've got that part mounted on there. Now we need to mount the other end on the bottom of the mower deck. And I've got, without going and buying a piece of metal, I have this 1 inch by 1/4 inch flat, and I have this 16 gauge, and this isn't wide enough, and this isn't thick enough. So what I thought I would do is double this. And I thought, well, if I double this, then I can double this. And then I could weld these together, and this will just kind of be there. I don't know if I'll put these two together or sandwich between these. We'll see how that goes. But I'll show you what we're aiming for. Go over here. To the mower deck. And there are holes here for carriage bolts. So what we're going to do is use that flat plate to go to cover these two holes, and then back this way. And I think what I could do is use that plate on the top and double that sheet. That might work to give us the rigidity that we need. This would be removable, so only to use it when we're bagging. That's my intention. I don't want to block any of the chute with this. But so that's what we're looking at doing, and we'll go from there. So I did some measuring. 8 inches. Will get us the two carriage bolt holes that we need. 3 inches at the widest point. Two inches at the taper. We've got that drawn out. Gonna cut that out. We'll flip it over, trace a mirror image, then we'll mark some holes. I'm not happy with the results of that. You will notice I stopped and added in some earmuffs. Not so much for noise protection, but you see all the sparks from that grinding? Getting over an ear infection. Never had an ear infection until I was married. So like less than 5 years ago. Yeah, don't take your ears for granted either. Certainly not your eyes. You know, I'm always on about the eye protection. But don't take your ears for granted. Not just for the hearing, but even like if you're getting underneath a truck or something that's been out in the snow and it's in a shop that's warm and it's going to drip. And it's funny how that stuff will 9 times out of 10 will go right in your ear. And it'll feel funny for a couple days, or you may need to end up going to the doctor to, you know, take care of your ears and eyes. So now I've got one piece cut. So quick, get a much better job with that air grinder. And you saw me have to change the disc on that. Got the pieces cut. Got the holes marked. There's the holes. We'll put in the step bit. Make these a little bigger. Reinforce that.
Highway. Make sure you are in touch with somebody, either where you're leaving from or where you're heading to, and let them know the route you're going to take, and be in contact when you leave and when you arrive, so that they know that you're there safely. And make sure you have your vehicle maintenance in check. Make sure that you're stuff. If something does happen,
Right tool for the job. I'm torn about putting another piece on here.
Just making sure that they're protected from the elements. And like I touched on real quick
because the way
but also with the
this is going to mount,
dipping that low,
we almost would need to fill this in around this hole.
your animals to stay outside in temperatures that low, some sort of a heater and that kind of thing.
And I wonder,
Because if you're cold, they're cold, and at least bring them inside, during
that's how that's going to go.
warm up.
And you can see why we need that the width we do.
Absolutely. And we talked a little bit just before we went on the air, just and I know that you're not specifically working in traffic enforcement, but what are the general rules that people should keep in mind as far as parking regulations during the winter?
Well, one thing to keep in mind,
Because
complaint
this
people that
is flush.
where cars are often parked on the street, there is 24.
So the more I put on here, the more it brings it down toward the ground, because I'm already anticipating
where you are in my
needing to make a skid plate
So, but the biggest thing with the winter time
to protect this,
is that if we do get a
because it hangs down
graders coming out to clear the roads, please do your best to move
1.5 inches
off the road at some point so that
off the bottom of the deck.
can get through and clear the roads. If they have to drive around the vehicles, they will, obviously. Just ask people to be
So I guess where we're at is,
city does post the no parking
is this beefy enough?
snow removal and making sure that they get their vehicles moved so that
And I
the
kind of
crews
think it is.
and they can get the snow removed and we can keep traffic and that stuff flowing well.
So I guess
Also during the winter that speed can be an issue in traffic, especially if you've got,
the next thing to do is bolt all this up
you want to be able to react to
and mark where this is going to go.
situations you can slow down, if you're going really, really fast.
Get that on. Pair of nuts there. What if we did this?
And then call us to discuss voice capacity concerns about their own life. I think it's great to recognize that there are, all of us, some people on purpose forget to leave this, or just a minute, but not all of us do, but there are some things that sometimes I think we do tend to realize that we're forgetting a little bit more, but what is normal and what isn't. So it's great to kind of talk about that one on one. So thanks for bringing that. Something that really changes in your own memory and abilities to balance and manage.
What if we did this?
And then call us to discuss voice capacity concerns about their own life. I think it's great to recognize that there are, all of us, some people on purpose forget to leave this, or just a minute, but not all of us do, but there are some things that sometimes I think we do tend to realize that we're forgetting a little bit more, but what is normal and what isn't. So it's great to kind of talk about that one on one. So thanks for bringing that. And you're also then something that we have agreed with difficult is the regular memory. As we age, our bodies change in general. I used to be able to run a lot faster than I can now. I used to be able to jump a lot higher. I used to be able to hear a sound on the radio maybe once or twice and remember the words.
I don't know if that's a good idea or not. It's going to be definitely a challenge.
Signs we're going to talk about today are not typical age-related changes. The warning signs we're going to talk about today are indicators that may impairments such as Alzheimer's disease. But I also want to preface this conversation by really emphasizing that if listeners out there, you know, if any of these warning signs are
Bringing that over because what I've come up with is this is where that would mount, and this is under the lip.
If you're noticing these warning signs, go see your doctor because it could be a variety of other issues that are causing those problems.
So what we need to do
Deficits absolutely can seem
is move this out.
experiencing memory loss. Really, they're just not hearing the information accurately. I hear about that from families all the time. Or perhaps the person is experiencing memory loss, but it's exacerbated by also having a co-occurring hearing deficit. Yes.
And because, you know, our hearing does wane as we age, and so that is important too, to see what's going on in conversations.
So the solution to that
Another one I hear about very often from individuals and families is difficulty completing familiar tasks. And that could be at home, at work, or in leisure as well. So, you know, that's the individual who, well, let's talk about Great Aunt Lucille. Let's say, you know, she was known countywide for her excellent bread that she always made. And now she's bringing that bread to family functions, and it's just not the same. It's not turning out the same way. And perhaps Great Aunt Lucille has a million excuses as to why it is. Maybe it's her husband, or
let's put these this way.
Didn't make it to the grocery store or something.
right, exactly. But you know, someone who's been able to do something like making bread or, you know, a familiar recipe for a really long time, that's suddenly struggling with completing that task, that is certainly a warning sign, not just an indication of general aging. I think also you want to be mindful if you're noticing changes in yourself or a loved one where suddenly you're having difficulties managing a budget, whether that's at home or at work. Suddenly there are errors, maybe a check to the cable company is being paid sent twice. You know, the bill is being paid twice. Missing those kinds of familiar tasks. That's a warning sign.
It's interesting because money really it's a tangible way to track things too, with looking at different things with that. So once again, we're just starting this series, and so we've kind of touched on a few of the highlights, you know, to look for things that people may be missing in conversation about repeating themselves, just changing in normal behaviors and not doing a task or routine that they used to do quite as well. Those are some of those.
And that might be okay.
And then once again, what are some future things that we can kind of look forward to hearing about, and where can we find some more information so we can be heard more?
Well, as I mentioned, certainly people can visit our website. You can listen to 10 warning signs. That's www.org.
So what I'm going to do
They can call our helpline at
is add a third piece.
1-800-239-0000. And of course,
Got enough here to do that.
forget to mention that we have a Fergus Falls office right in Lincoln Avenue. We're 123 East Lincoln, and that office number is 998-3603. Individuals can call that anytime and ask questions as well about any of this information. I think one of the things from all these concerns about yourself.
So what I'm going to do is cut some plates. together.
But the reason why my book is actually very optimistic and not pessimistic and not a scare book is because it is a model for showing how it's solvable. And so all everyone has to do is just follow the Israeli model. Be more like Israel, and then we can get out of this problem. Israel spent decades thinking about it and doing trial and error, and finally they mastered it. And we can do the same type of thing. You just have to
People like Thomas Friedman at the New York Times write about how because of global warming there will be droughts. These will cause staggering amounts of refugees and wars. It would seem that there is a solution.
Well, one problem we have.
Friedman is right if you look at only the fact that the world is static, not the world is static. But if the world is static and that nobody moves and nobody makes changes and nobody invents new things and nobody comes on a national campaign to reduce their leaks, and now they're
Okay, this is getting to be a way bigger project than I thought.
shovel-ready projects. We're ready.
But
This is something we should be doing everywhere. And if you
What
want
does that mean?
I wish I
Pipes that are now corroding?
had a plug for my wire welder. Bought a new welder. It has a different plug. It's 220. It has a different plug than what I have. And I haven't had time to fix it. So I'm gonna try to tack these together